Hello and welcome to Oak Park River Forest High School, where the York Dukes take on the Oak Park River Forest Huskies. This is a York Sports Network presents to you this varsity football game. I'm Connor Choi. With me is Christian McQuade. The 3-0 York Dukes look to stay undefeated and pick up their first conference win as the Oak Park River Forest Huskies look to improve to 2-2 and pick up their second conference win of the year after defeating Proviso West last week. I'm Connor Choi. Like I said, with me is Christian McQuade. Christian, what are we looking for? Just kind of recap the game last week. What went well for the Dukes? What did not go well?
Yeah, Connor, we're talking about a big win for the York Dukes after a great first half. It actually ended up being a two-touchdown game going into the half, and York was able to pull away and blow Downers Grove South out of the water. So definitely a big confidence booster win for the Dukes. However, you know, there's two really main stars on offense. Let's talk about Henry Duda putting together around over 200 yards on the ground, not only on the ground, but overall with scrimmage yards. And then on top of that, he had 3 rushing touchdowns, Connor. Another guy I'd like to highlight, Simon Kadowski, had a humongous game, absolutely torching the defense, getting open, and a fantastic job by Massel to get him open. But some of the things the Dukes are going to have to work on, Connor, are not giving up those points early, as we were talking about before the game. You know, the Dukes have a tendency to give up points early, and that could end up biting them in the butt once they play a very good team. And if you play a team like OPRF with a lot of talent, just not, you know, the pieces have not came together yet for them, that could really come back and get them in the butt if they don't fix that, Connor.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, this is a team that hasn't put it together yet, but the talent is there. They do have their quarterback, number 7, Johnny Nelson, second-year starter, 6'2", 185. He's an athletic kid, so he's really going to, and he's only going to get better with age. He's just a junior. He's been starting since he was a sophomore in high school, so he's really going to have an impact at a high level throughout the season. And if you're Oak Park River Forest, you're just looking for him to figure it out week 4 and really take advantage against a really good opponent too. I mean, this would be a huge win for Oak Park. They're already first in the conference because week 3 they did play Proviso West, blew them out 54-0. Duke's looking to start off, stay undefeated and start their conference playoff with a win. So, you know, a lot of people are overlooking this game, but kind of a lot at stake for both teams if you look into it a bit deeper. And we will, the anthem's going to get underway here in just 50 seconds, so we'll step away. We'll be back after the national anthem for the kickoff here in Oak Park. You are watching York Sports Network. We welcome you back to the stream. Anthem has just concluded, and we're just a few moments away from kickoff here. Connor Choi with me is Christian McQuade. Just a couple of things to go over for the Dukes. You know, this, like you mentioned it before, Christian, this is a really good offense, but one thing they have that I think we forgot to talk about that they've done really well is they've just come out swinging every time. You know, they're putting points on early, but like you said, it's the defense giving up those early points. You know, they need to settle in later in the game. So you're looking for the defense to settle in earlier, like kind of around the same time as the offense. And I think that would make this, you know, they would extend their lead a lot earlier, and Coach Gelso would be feeling more comfortable instead of, you know, kind of ending that first quarter. Week 1, they were down, and then they were able to come back after being down 10-0. But you don't want to start every game out like that or have it be a one-score game, because eventually, like you said, you're going to play a really good team. You won't be able to come back from that deficit. Duke set to kick off. It's Jack O'Connor handling the kickoff duties for the Dukes. And we are underway. O'Connor boots this one to the back left of the end zone, and Oak Park will just let this bounce in the end zone. Logan Gathman just watched it go, and it'll be a touchback for the Huskies, and now Johnny Nelson in the offense will come out.
Yeah, Connor, not to mention the Huskies got some extra hype tonight. This is their game, the homecoming game, so this place is pretty packed tonight. And, you know, we're talking about, you know, they got talent. Pieces haven't been put together, as we talked about earlier, but, I mean, you got to be hyped up if this is your homecoming game. You know, you're playing a team who's arguably a top 10 football team in the state, Connor. So definitely the Huskies will be playing with a chip on their shoulders tonight, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. The Dukes have just been on the fringe outside of that top 10, so they're looking to continue to rack up the wins and crack that top 10. They hand it off on first down, and that'll be a nice rush. And a trio of Dukes bring down the running back, number 5, Liam Smith, the 5'11" sophomore, with a nice pickup on first down, moving the chains.
Aiden Link with a almost breakout saving touchdown, Connor. He had some room. He was swallowed up eventually, but Link was the last guy to tackle him and also the last guy in the backfield.
They give to Smith again. He goes to the right side. This time the run will be stopped closer, maybe a pickup of 2. Personnel switch. They bring out Donovan Lee, putting him at wideout. Nelson in the shotgun. They put Lee in motion, then it'll be Nelson to keep it. He pitches it over to Lee, and he will be brought down by Evan Gaughan, the 38-yard line. So nice play by the Dukes defense, not falling for the trickery set by the Huskies.
Absolutely, Connor. There's definitely some trickery. You know, Nelson is a great, very athletic quarterback, as you mentioned earlier. Just I like that play call and the speed option. The York actually tends to run that decent bit, but that time the Dukes read it like a book.
2nd and 7 coming up for the Huskies. I'm sorry, 3rd and 7 coming up for the Huskies. Nelson sets his man in motion, now drops back to pass. Empty set, fires, has a man, and it's overthrown. So nice job by this Dukes defense. After giving up the first down on the first play of the drive, they're able to hold them just 3 more plays, only getting 3 yards. And that will send out the punt team. It'll be Eric Guerriere to punt it away. Dukes have Simon Kadowski hanging around the 25-yard line. He'll be the returner.
Yeah, Connor, Kadowski's been absolutely on fire. After that first game, you know, a little shaky, not many targets, but he has been fantastic since then. Expect him to step up tonight if the Dukes want to win this game by a decent amount.
Guerriere punts it away. This one's a shaky punt. Kadowski's going to let it bounce, and this will roll all the way to inside the 20. He gets a great roll, and this will stop at the 13-yard line. So an excellent punt. Great job by the Huskies special teams, pinning the Dukes deep in their own territory. And this will be a tall tasker, Bruno Massel, in the offense. One thing that's been really impressive, Christian, the offensive line. Really good. Started off Cam Sivrite, the left tackle, Jack Bodak, the center. Dino Majornos, the right guard, Jack War, the left guard, and Costa Campus, the right tackle. Those 5 will make up the starting offensive line. And 2 of the best running backs in the conference share the same backfield, Jimmy Connors and Henry Duda. Duda's been carrying most of the carries, and he'll take it on first down, pick up a couple of yards before being stopped by that Huskies defensive line.
Yeah, great job by the offensive lineman there. The run didn't seem to be there, but there was a hole up the right side of the field there. Duda just did not take the hole. You know, it can be tough as a running back to see those holes all the time, but he was so fantastic at it last week.
Hayden Alexander, Simon Kadaski, and Quinlan Hughes, Massel's receivers right now. He's got Burnbomb in the tight end position. They hand it off to Duda, and Duda's got some room to run, and he's cutting towards the right side before being tackled at the 21-yard line. So a nice run for Henry Duda.
I mean, you mentioned 2 outstanding running backs, 2 complete workhorses, Connor. These guys, not only big, but they have wheels, especially Henry Duda, as Connor seems to usually be the go-to third down back. Both fantastic players on the Dukes offense.
Duda to the right of Massel, in for 3rd and 1. Massel's going to keep it himself. He's fighting for the first down, and it looks like he did get it, and the chains will move. So it'll be a first down for the Dukes.
Yeah, Connor, and the Duke student section showing up a little bit tonight, you know. After, you know, kind of a weak performance over at Plainfield North, we were actually some of the only students at that game, Connor. So tonight we got a little bit of a crowd for us.
LSC do beautiful night here in Oak Park. About 80 degrees right now, and Massel's going to give it to Duda on first down, and he will actually run for a loss there. Really nowhere for him to go. Great job putting pressure on by the Oak Park River Forest Huskies defensive line. Leading the way there was number 72, Eric Harris Jr., 5'11", 215-pound defensive lineman leading the charge.
You know, Connor, the Dukes have already taken a good amount of time off the clock with all the runs they've been going with here early.
2nd and 10, Massel in the shotgun. They fake the handoff. Here's Massel. He's set to throw. Has Kadaski in the near side, and he makes the reception. Stays in bounds to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Dukes. Simon Kadaski. Absolutely incredible. First passing play, it's a touchdown, and the Dukes have a 6-0 lead.
And Connor, I believe we got to look at that replay. We do not. However, Kadowski does a great job of not only catching the ball, keeping his feet in bounds, but then turns on the jets. Absolutely breaks out for over 60 yards after the catch. Unbelievable. Watch him set his feet, plants them, and keeps going up the sideline. Around 60 yards after the catch, as I mentioned, not only does he have the ability to catch, but his speed is just such a big factor, Connor.
Yeah, and that's just great body control by Simon Kadowski. Extra point.
He's into the trees.
Yeah, into the trees.
There's no net back there.
You know, that's kind of surprising.
They put the trees there to block it from hitting the school.
Extra point is good. No net really threw me off.
Never seen that.
No, I have not. And the net, the net on the side, on the Huskies side, facing the street.
Not very tall.
Not very wide. I mean, if you're kicking a lawn field goal, and
watch out for the houses behind there.
Watch out if you're walking. I mean, I know that there's people walking there right now. Look out.
Yeah, but talk about these facilities here are so nice, Connor. You know, they got the new facility in the backup right behind us. You can see the football field, the practice field, which would be a lot of schools' main field at
yes.
pretty much anywhere else. But
absolutely.
You know,
track,
OPRF.
soccer, and football. You know, 3 sports. That's great. But yeah, great first drive for the Dukes. And Christian, you're always talking about that explosive play in the opening drive, and that's exactly what we were looking at with that Simon Kadowski touchdown. You know, this is a team that's going to run the ball for the majority of their plays. There, Massel fakes the handoff to Duda, drops back, and he's had a great touch on his deep balls so far, and that play was no exception, absolutely exceptional by the offense. So Connor boots this one in the end zone. It'll be the 2nd touchback of the game, and now Johnny Nelson and the Huskies look to respond.
Yeah, Connor, the Huskies actually had a few chances at some nice plays. Nelson missed a wide open receiver that could have possibly got them in to Duke's territory and making a statement, you know. Weren't really able to get much going, but I mean, the punter pretty much saved them with that humongous punt. I mean, what kind of role did that have? Just some great talent out of your punter, and, you know, that's the special sauce, as I like to say, is special teams that keep you in games.
Huskies will start at the 20-yard line. Nelson in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, now throws over the middle and incomplete. Kind of in no man's land. Looked like it was intended for Joshua Pink, but he got knocked down before he could get over the middle of the field. Nelson just a little too much ahead of him there.
I mean, not only is he missing the target, but Connor, he had some serious velocity on that. Just like his baseball skills, I believe he's a very good pitcher, if I'm not mistaken.
His dad's a great pitching coach in this Oak Park, around this area. That pass is complete, and Jimmy Connors is there to meet the man right away, throw him to the ground. It was complete to Michael Wheeler. 6'2", senior wide receiver with his first reception of the day. So that'll bring up a 3rd and medium, 3rd and 5 to be exact.
You know, Connor, 3rd down is the biggest down in football. A lot of teams, the good teams, will need to convert on 3rd down if they want to hang around. And if you're the Huskies, you're playing a very talented defense and offense. You definitely don't want to give the ball back to Bruno Massel in the offense after that, I believe, 3-play drive. Definitely want to convert here.
Especially when you mentioned that they're more susceptible to giving up points early. We'll see what they have here. Nelson under pressure, and he throws nearly intercepted. It's broken up. Nonetheless, it's Reese Richardson there with the pass breakup. Or Drew Richardson, my apologies. But either way, a great defensive play, forcing a 3-and-out, and the Huskies will have to punt it away again.
You know, Connor, he's wearing the same number as his brother Reese when he was a Duke, so definitely, you know, seeing the same thing. Great, two great corners, a lot of breakups from Reese. You know, I believe he's playing football at a collegiate level too, so definitely impressive.
This one looks to be a good punt. Kadoski, fair catches at the 26-yard line, and that's where Bruno Massel and this offense will take over. And I think what a lot of people underestimate, Christian, is that, you know, 2 great backs. You spend so much time preparing against the run. You know, you have your dude, you have your Henry Duda, the track star, the breakaway running back with lightning fast speed, and then Jimmy Connors, your cowbell back that's impossible to bring down. And on top of that, you have to worry about Bruno Massel as a dual threat quarterback himself. I mean, Massel and Duda were state qualifiers in track, so they're no strangers to being very quick all the time, and that translates onto the football field. So that's something to kind of look out for. And then you kind of forget to realize that Massel's had great touch on a lot of his deep balls early so far this season. And some of these receivers are threats as well.
I mean, Connor, you look at Bruno Massel, you know, he's a little shorter than the average high school quarterback, but trust me, he makes up for it. You know, you see him and he looks like, oh yeah, this guy can really run a lot. He's got a decent short ball, but man, he's got a great short ball. He can toss it downfield, and I believe he was so fantastic to watch last week, and you're starting to see him come out of his shell when it comes to throwing the ball down the field as this season goes on, you know.
Oh, completely. And, you know, a lot of people weren't really sure what they were going to expect, but he has exceeded everyone's expectations. First down, just a little bit shorter. It was a quick pass, bounced in the ground, intended for Quinlan Hughes. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Connors is going to check in here and pull Hughes out, so.
Looks like it's some double back action here.
Maybe move Jimmy. Honestly, he's like a tight end in a way. Fullback. That's the position, Connor. So it looks like they're going to move Duda to receiver for this play and throw Connors in the backfield.
They put Duda in motion. They give to Connors. Bounces to the left. Breaks a tackle. Has some room to run. Spins, and now will be brought down by 3 defenders. Leading the way there, number 12, Brenton Dortch, the defensive back out in the secondary. Has to run all the way in to get Jimmy Connors, and the Dukes pick up a first down.
Yeah, fantastic run by Connors, but an even better play call from Coach Gelso, you know, or excuse me, the offensive coordinator of the Duke says, I love sending Duda in motion, you know, with his speed, as you mentioned, he's so dangerous, so that tricks OPRF into covering him, and then wide open hole for Connors to get through in a fantastic spin move.
This time, they do give it to Duda. He bounces out to the left side, and he will be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Mike Murphy, first-year offensive coordinator here for the Dukes. He was a sophomore offensive coordinator for 6 years.
It's also my gym teacher back at middle school, Connor.
He was also he also was an offensive analyst on Varsity, so he has experience working with the returning starters as well as the junior class who were all playing for him in the sophomore. And someone he's especially comfortable with is Henry Duda. And you know, these last 2 plays, you've seen him get a little bit more experimental instead of just putting Duda in the backfield.
And Coach Murphy's been fantastic this year with the offense, Connor.
Yes, absolutely. Massel in the shotgun. He'll hand it off to Connors. Connors up the middle. Has some room to go, and he's going to break away here. Jimmy Connors, nice run, and he'll be brought down at the 50. Flags fly. So this could be coming back.
Yeah, they got holding Connor on the Dukes. That's going to bring this play back, and seemed a little too good to be true, but Jimmy has just run so hard, Connor, but puts his head down and keeps going. He doesn't stop the legs from churning as well, so, you know, he's just giving it his best out there, and it's hard to get him in there all the time because he's also a linebacker.
Yes, and I think that's also part of the reason why probably Coach Gelso, being the former defensive coordinator, is so grateful that Henry Duda has stepped up the way he has, because now Coach Gelso still has Jimmy on the defense, and some might even argue he's probably a better linebacker than he is a running back.
He can do it all. Great student, too.
Yes, he really can.
I believe he got 32 on his ACT, folks. It's a full package, Connor.
He's getting some interest from some Ivy schools. Going to go that route. This time they hand off to Duda on the jet sweep, and Duda will be hit after maybe a pickup of 1 yard. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Clock is now down to 5 minutes here in the first quarter. Dukes are just slowly going down the field, but picking up first downs. So
yes,
we're talking about earlier how the best teams convert on a lot of 3rd down situations. Dukes are looking at one here.
1 for 1 today in 3rd downs. Looking to be 2 for 2. Massel in the shotgun. Connors to his right. They send Quinlan Hughes in motion. Massel looks back to throw. Nothing there. Escapes pressure. He's got a lane to go, and Massel's going to break away at the 50, the 40, the 30. Makes a man miss. Bruno Massel all the way into the end zone. Oh, what an incredible run. Making just about everyone on the Oak Park defense miss. And that's an absolutely incredible run. I can't believe my eyes, Christian.
My goodness, Connor. Bruno Massel nearly takes a sack, turns it into a humongous play. On top of that, makes almost every man in the defense miss, looking like Kyler Murray, prime Kyler Murray, weaving through tackles, just making plays. Fantastic job making something out of nothing. And I can't believe he just scored on that play.
Absolutely, and we were talking about big 3rd downs. You know, the first 3rd down, that was a 1 yard rush from Bruno Massel. The second 3rd down, it's like a 65-yard rushing touchdown. And he didn't have a lane. He made his own lanes multiple times. Also, great blocking all the way down at the 10-yard line by Quinlan Hughes. That really helped Massel score. If Hughes is not there, Massel does not have the touchdown. That being said, that shouldn't take any attention away from that incredible run up until that point. Weaving through linebackers, safeties, defensive backs. And that's what we were talking about. That's also another threat. You know, when the pocket collapses, especially on these 3rd down plays, he just gets out and he bolts, and you can't give him any breathing room. And Oak Park did there, and he made them pay.
Yeah, Connor, you really just can't give Bruno Massel room to make big plays, because he will take advantage of it and he will score. And he's shown that time and time again this season. And that is now York's 2nd breakout play. 2 plays over 60 yards for touchdowns. So they are just flying down.
Yes.
And both those plays were on 3rd downs as well.
Yep.
So what do we say? The best teams convert on 3rd down. Best teams make breakout plays and limit breakout plays on defense, and that's what the Dukes have done so far as of right now.
Extra point was good. Now it's O'Connor to kick it off. He sends it, same place, back right of the end zone. So another touchback. And Johnny Nelson and this Huskies offense really looking for an answer here. So this will be the third drive for the Huskies. Hoping to get something going, just one first down. And it was on the first play, their first offensive play of the game. Nelson drops back to throw. This one nearly, just not a good touch there on that short pass. Jimmy Connors defending there. It was intended for Micah Riley. Nelson just not where he wanted it. It was kind of behind him. And Riley fortunate enough to just get a handout, but he can't make the catch, and he just knocks it down.
Yeah, and there he is again, the man, Jimmy Connors. Just there for everything. I mean, if you see a run, he'll be there too, although there's no running back here.
Empty set. They go jet sweep. Nelson's going to keep it himself. Nowhere to go, and he'll be brought down at the line of scrimmage. So 17 total yards of offense for the Huskies so far. You look at the offense since the first play, 6 plays, 7 yards. Really need to get something going here. And with the way this, like you said, with the way the York offense has been going, the defense is giving up the big plays. So you're kind of probably hoping for a slow, methodical drive from the Huskies offense that ends in a score. Nelson drops back to pass, third down. He'll sidearm it, it's complete. And this one is gonna be a first down for the Huskies. Liam Smith, nice sidearm throw from Johnny Nelson. Over the middle, completes to Liam Smith for a first down. That will move the chains. Just like we were talking about, the Huskies offense needed that conversion, they got it.
Yeah, great job by Nelson, hanging in the pocket, staying comfortable, and then flicks it out up the middle, makes something out of nothing. Keeps the drive alive.
Man in motion, Nelson under pressure, stiff arms Reef. Now he'll just have to throw it away. Great job by Joe Reef immediately coming with that pressure. Evan Gaughan not too far behind, which ultimately forces Nelson to just throw it out of bounds. How about Johnny Nelson extending the play a little bit with his legs? He's able to kind of stiff arm Joe Reef and keep him at bay. But just no protection as he rolled out to the left, and he just had to throw it away.
Not only was he protected, but the Duke secondary on defense, Connor, covering every man, not giving Nelson an option to go down the field and make a play.
Now when the secondary is locking up and then the protection just disappears immediately, it's really hard to get anything going. Handoff to Liam Smith. This will be good for a couple of yards. Should bring up a 3rd and 7. So you're once again asking this Huskies offense to convert. So it will be 3rd and 6, official spot. And there is an injured player down on the field. So training staff will look at this injured Husky. We'll step away. 14-0 your score. Duke's lead. 2:48 left in the first quarter. You're watching York Sports Network. We welcome you back from the injury timeout. The injured Husky, Micah Riley, the wide receiver. He'll go get looked at. Johnny Nelson on 3rd down, and he's going to sail this one. Intended for Kingston Thornton.
Although it was intended for Thornton, Connor, that ball way over the head, and just another throw that Nelson has missed a little high. Just needs to calm down a little bit and hang in the pocket, but he's made some plays. He's shown that he is a playmaker. He's just got to stay comfortable, Connor. And, you know, that's easier said than done.
Yes. On their own 46-yard line, Huskies do appear to be staying. The Huskies offense is out there. Whether or not they run the play. Nelson drops back. He's going to punt it himself. Strong kick, and this one is going to roll all the way to the 15-yard line. Something we saw 2 years ago when the Dukes traveled to Oak Park. The starting quarterback, Jack Gooch, would do a lot of punts, and we see that hasn't changed. Johnny Nelson punting it away there.
Yeah, the old school quarterback punt, Connor. Not bad. Got it all the way down to the 15. So, you know, I mean, that's a nice play to have, honestly, because you can catch teams off guard with that.
Especially there, you're in your own 46, 4th and 6. That's not completely unreasonable to go for it, especially from when we see teams go for it on 4th down. That's definitely a spot a lot of teams go for it.
Yeah, especially against York, you could really trick them into thinking that because they want to hang around with a good team, and their offense just really hasn't been productive.
That being said, I didn't like how early Nelson backed up. I think he could have caught them off a little even better. Duke's offense back on the field is Bruno Massel as he hands it off. Short gain on 1st down.
Yeah, Connor, look down to your right. You got the offensive line coach working on some film down there. With a TV, that's pretty luxury down there, going through some high school film on a TV on the sideline.
Yes. TV or like mini projector screen, can't really tell. Henry Duda the back. Got twins right for Massel. He's going to hand it off to Duda. Duda breaks through, and he's going to have a big run. Henry Duda can't break the second tackle, but he picks up the 1st down, and he's brought down at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, great job by the offensive sideline, offensive line. In specific, the left side just opening up that wide open gap for Duda, and you know Henry Duda is able to get through that hole. It's about a tackle away from arguably a touchdown with his breakout speed, Connor.
19-yard rush for Henry Duda on that last play. Massel sets Hughes in motion. Hughes goes behind him. Now they'll just give it to Duda up the middle. Short gain. Picks up 2 yards, so that'll bring up 2nd and 8. And yeah, you pointed out the film session with the offense, with Johnny Nelson and the offensive line. What do you think the coach is saying to them down there, Christian?
I think he's saying the offensive line needs to be, you know, more protection over Nelson, so Nelson feels like he can settle into this game and start making big plays because he has that potential, and we've seen it a little bit, but has not been able to showcase it to his best ability.
Massel drops back, dumps it off to Duda behind the line of scrimmage. Duda is going to take a big loss. This will actually be a loss of 4 yards, so this will bring up 3rd and 12.
Yeah, Connor, great job by the Huskies defense. They saw Duda roll out. Massel kind of stared him down a little bit, so great read by the defense, and now a chance to get off the field and force York off, but will York convert on another big 3rd down? I believe they're 3 for 3 as of right now on 3rd downs.
Yes, so looking to be 3 for 3, 2 for 2. Still 100% conversion. Massel in the shotgun, drops back to pass. He's looking for Alexander. Did he complete it? And the official signal is, yes, he did. He did make the catch. Will it be enough for a 1st down? No, they're going to be a couple yards short.
And the main ref,
the officials are going to, yeah, they're going to talk about
call
this
one. He wants to have a meeting to see if anyone had a better angle of it.
Hard to see. The Husky sideline was blocking it. I could see it go either way. I could see them saying Alexander was out of bounds when he caught the ball.
It's pretty hard to call it back, though, without instant replay or any of that. It's kind of like when the call's made, it's made, but they're going to talk it over a little bit, and I believe they're going to leave it, but they're going to mark the Dukes short, 4th and 2.
Yeah, definitely short, but not by much. Massel trying to get a jump. We'll see. Now he's calling. It looks like they're going to get a playoff here. 5 seconds. They set Hughes in motion. Not going to run a play. They let the clock expire, and the 1st quarter comes to a close. 4th and 2 coming up for the Dukes. 2nd quarter right on its way. You are watching York Sports Network. 14-0 your score. We welcome you back. 4th and 2 for the Dukes on their own 43. 14-0 lead. Second quarter just about to start. Offense still out there. They put Jack Burnbomb in motion. Ooh.
Connor kind of looked like he got him to jump up there on the front
but
left.
I don't know if he went far enough over. He was kind of hanging back. Massel calls an audible. And they'll hand it off to Duda. Did he get it? They're still fighting for it.
Oh, yeah, he's got it.
Oh, yes, for sure. If he didn't have it before, he definitely has it now.
And that's what we're talking about, Connor. Just, you know, Henry Duda and Jimmy Connors both have that heart when the run's close. They just keep going, keep going. You know, you'll see a lot of running backs go down. Even in the NFL, professionally, college, everywhere, a lot of running backs don't keep going, but Connors and Duda are very great at that. That's one thing that I'd love to showcase.
Yes.
They've shown it all year, and Jimmy's been showing it since last year.
Yes, my mistake. That was Jimmy Connors on the last run. Duda just checks in. Kadowski to the left of Massel all by himself. Now they set Hughes in motion. They give to Duda, and he will be breaking off the sideline, and he'll pick up a first down before being shoved out of bounds around the 35-yard line.
I mean, Connor, OPRF's roster is a little less deeper compared to York. I mean, we might have them double the size on the bench than they do, so definitely a little harder with substitutions and all, but I'm not sure how deep their team runs compared to York, but
roster size definitely smaller. Duda cuts up the middle. Picks up a couple of yards. So now 2nd and 7.
It's been a minute since we've seen a throw, Connor.
Yeah, it has been a minute. It's that Hayden Alexander 12-yard reception on 3rd and long. Massel, and he's going to give it to Duda once again. Another short run, so now this will bring up 3rd and 6. So 3rd and medium here for the Dukes. Good job by the Huskies. Last 2 plays, not giving up a big run after they gave up the 15-yard rushing play 3 plays prior. .9:55 and counting on the game clock for the first half. They set Hughes in motion. Massel drops back to pass. Under pressure, he gets sacked, hit hard. That is number 23, Emmett Kennedy. Senior linebacker coming out and just lighting up Bruno Massel, and that's a huge loss.
Yeah, Connor, Bruno got lucky that the refs blew that play dead, because if he lets that play go, there's a very good chance that Massel hits the ground pretty good. And it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field here.
Really confused at what they could possibly be going for here. It's 4th and 16. They're in enemy 43, so they are going to go for it. Massel airs this one out. Simon Kadowski, he makes the catch at the 10, the 5, and he will be pushed out of bounds at the 3-yard line. This is why I'm not an offensive coordinator. That worked out perfectly.
Coach Murphy, Connor, they go to Kadowski again. Both, not only you should not be an offensive coordinator, me too, Connor. I was so confused, but clearly they knew what was up and they saw something they liked, and that was the matchup with Kadowski. Once again, he has been attacking that secondary all night very well. Another big play. I mean, 4th and 16, if you give that ball back to the Huskies, they're in Duke's territory already, and now we're on the goal line.
They spotted at the 2-yard line, fresh set of downs. Why not? Hand it off on first down. Henry Duda going for the end zone, and he'll be just short. That being said, if you really think about it, you're out of the range for Brennan Kennedy to go kick the field goal. You don't really want to punt with the way your offenses have been playing. You're in your own 43, and with the way your defense has also been stopping the offense, might as well go for it, kind of like one of those free play situations. You have nothing to lose.
And on top of that, before that play, Connor, how successful the Dukes have been with the throw. I mean, went to it, Another big play.
Once again, Simon Kadowski, the guy you highlighted before the game started, having himself another big day. Dukes bring out Hunter Stepanek, light him up at wideout.
Don't be surprised if you see the option here, Connor. Massel can use his legs.
He's going to give it to Connors up the middle, and he's in the end zone for a Dukes touchdown, making it 20-0. Such an easy run for Jimmy Connors, does it all day. Offensive line created the hole up the middle. Nowhere to go but the end zone. 20-0, 8:03 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, Connor, he walked into the end zone. Great job by the offensive line once again. Majerus in specific, just absolutely opening up that wide open hole. And, you know, you love to see it. If Kennedy can knock this extra point in, they will be up 21-0, and a great start to this ball game.
Good snap, good hold, good kick.
Maybe hit a house, huh?
Yeah. Looks like he cleared the netting. Good kick by Brennan Kennedy. He's perfect, 3 for 3 on extra points today. It's now 21-0, 8:03 left in the first half. The Huskies got some work to do. Duke's up big. We'll be right back. You're watching York Sports Network. We welcome you back from the break. 21-0 Dukes lead. For those of you that are just joining us, Connor Choi with me is Christian McQuade. Jack O'Connor boots this one off to the left side of the end zone for another touchback.
Automatic O'Connor. That's what Mr. Lytle likes to say. Dukes PA.
Shout out Mr. Lytle. Gets a nice, well-deserved week off.
Absolutely, especially after, you know, senior night, having to go through all those names.
Yes.
Anyone from the football players to the cheerleaders to the band
Nice
to
break.
even
Yes.
the York Sports Network guys.
Yes, and as well, Dukes have back-to-back home games coming up. Homecoming next week, take on Hinsdale Central, and then the week after that, the highly anticipated game, Downers Grove North comes to town. A potential top 10 state matchup. At the very least, top 10 team in the state coming to face off against the top 15 team.
I mean, you look back at the past 3 years of Downers Grove North versus York games, Connor, they've been fantastic. They got both of these teams, a great rivalry going on. I remember our homecoming freshman year, that player, or sophomore year, excuse me, Grazzini came up with that big tackle to win us the game. We ended up winning in overtime with a field goal, I believe. And I mean, if you look back, York at DGM, the rivalry they have going, and this year potentially another big game.
Yes.
With them being ranked 4th in state.
I think they are
right now.
No, I currently think they are 6th in the state. They're the number 2 team in 8A, and they're just an absolute force to be reckoned with. Their 3-star quarterback in Minnesota commit Owen Lansu. Absolute threat out there. Timeout used by Oak Park River Forest. Timeout's over. Now we're back for some football. 1st and 10 for the Huskies offense. Johnny Nelson in the shotgun. He's got trips right, and that will be complete over the middle. Nice pass, and he's still on his feet. And up the way to midfield, that's Michael Wheeler. He stayed on his feet, fought through contact, and now he's at the 49-yard line. How about a great pass from Johnny Nelson as well.
And there's Johnny Nelson sealing. Connor, that little baseball sling sidearm whips it in there. I don't even know what the exit velocity was on that, but puts it on the money. And OPRF looking to get the ball here in Duke's territory.
Nelson drops back. Heath's going to throw a deep ball. This one's way overthrown. Closest that was intended for Michael Wheeler, but Probably good it wasn't around there. Double covered well, especially by Eddie Sika, who was right there, closest to where the throw landed.
You know, Connor, we've seen Nelson go up the middle quite a bit with this throws, but I'm still wondering when the Huskies are going to work the outside. I mean, they haven't ran it out to the outside much at all. They haven't thrown any screen passes to the outside. I mean, they're pretty much just going up the middle every time.
Yes, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Eddie Sika and Aiden Link on that last play. Great coverage. Ball was overthrown by Johnny Nelson. 2nd and 10. Nelson, quick pass. This one's going to be caught by Wheeler again. 3 straight targets, 2 receptions, and a nice pickup on 2nd down.
And it looks like Nelson's starting to find his favorite target in Wheeler. He's targeted him quite a bit on this drive, and now working the sideline a little bit with that little screen pass. And Wheeler's got some good size for a wideout, Connor.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some great size. Wheeler stands at 6'2", 192. Now Nelson on 3rd down. They're going to hand this one off. Liam Smith, did he get it? It's going to be close. And they say he's going to get it, so it's a 1st down for the Huskies.
Big 1st down, Connor.
And now the chains continue to move. 2 first downs this drive. Most they've had in any drive so far. And now they're in Duke's territory at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Nelson's starting to look a lot more comfortable. If they can end up getting the sideline involved and up the middle, as we've seen them run it up the middle quite a bit, I mean, they could be very dangerous, Connor.
Nelson drops back. Is flushed out the pockets. Got to get rid of it. He takes a big sack. Joe Reef from behind. Lights him up, throws him to the ground, and that'll be a loss on 1st down.
Joe Reef comes out of nowhere. Absolutely knocks Nelson onto the ground and shows a nice celebration to the sideline, trying to get his guys fired up. You know, he's committed to Notre Dame, 4-star right now, Connor, and arguably could be a 5-star by the end of the season with the way he's been playing ball for York this year.
Second down and 15 for the Oak Park River Forest Huskies. Nelson getting the play from the sideline. It's 5 minutes and 42 seconds and counting on the game clock. So this will send them back to the 46-yard line. Man in motion, it's Nelson. He hands it off. Liam Smith with a seam, and he's going to explode. Liam Smith is brought down right before the 20-yard line, picks up a 1st down. A big run, big 25-yard rushing play for Liam Smith, his longest of the day so far. Huskies in hurry up. They go back to Smith up the middle. Not a lot there.
And Connor, we've talked about it all night. You know, OPRF has got that talent. They got Nelson, they got Smith, they got Wheeler, they got talent, Connor. But when they're on the same page, when their receivers are on the same page, when the running back and the offensive line are all in cue, I mean, they're dangerous, Connor. They're moving the ball right down the throat of the Duke's defense, who has been very good this year. But like we've talked about, they have lit up the points early and met a lot of breakout plays. But tonight, they actually have held a lot of those breakout plays and making those tackles in the secondary, which has been pretty huge.
Joe Reef down right now, so we'll step away. 21-0, 5:01 left in the 1st half. You're watching York Sports Network. Quick injury timeout. Joe Reef got up pretty quickly Dukes will bring in Hunter Stepanek to replace him. And that's a big player missing as the Huskies are on the door. Nelson's going to keep it, and he's going to be brought down and sacked. Got hit once, escaped, and then did not escape a second time. Jimmy Connors right there to greet him, and he throws him to the floor. So another negative play for the Huskies.
Yeah, kind of what you saw there was the option. Nelson wasn't fooling anyone, hanging on to that one himself. The Dukes defense read that like a book. Whole lot of Dukes there to tackle him, and after a few nice plays, the Huskies find themselves with a third down. And a big task to fulfill here, converting on 3rd and 9.
Owen Roberts comes in for Tyler Hayes on 3rd down. Duke's adding a bit more size on this 3rd and long. Nelson fires end zone, and this is going to be caught. An incredible play. Oh my goodness. Touchdown Huskies, Michael Wheeler.
Wait, Connor, they seem to be rustling.
No.
They're going to give it to him.
Call stands, it's still a touchdown. Oh my, what a play. An incredible catch by Michael Wheeler. A great ball placement by Johnny Nelson. And the Huskies score for the first time today. It's now 21-6.
Yeah, Connor, there's that chemistry from Wheeler and Nelson. They've been shown at the past few plays, and this time connecting. And great toss from Nelson. You love to see it if you're a Husky fan, hanging around. Find yourselves only down 2 scores now. And showing some fight, Connor.
Eric Guerriere to attempt the extra point. Tries to make it 21-7. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, kick is right down the middle. And now we have a score of 21-7 with 3 minutes and 56 seconds left to go in the first half. Like you mentioned, Christian, that drive, great final play, but that drive, they just really put it all together. Some great balls by Johnny Nelson. They got a couple of really nice rushing plays from Liam Smith, and that resulted in them finding the end zone. And that's kind of when you mentioned, them putting it all together for one sustained drive. We'll step away for a moment here. 3:56 left to go. You are watching York Sports Network. We welcome you back after our short break. 21-7 your score. Dukes lead, and Guerriere set to kick off for the Huskies. He's got Simon Kodowski in the end zone. Line drive kick, and Henry Duda in the end zone. And he'll just watch it go all the way to the fence.
Connor, if you're a Husky fan right now, you're feeling confident. Nelson and Wheeler really connected on many throws on that, and then Smith going up the middle, making some nice runs. And the Huskies, if they can get some stops on defense, Connor, they can find themselves hanging around here. Well, they are hanging around, but they can find themselves in a tight ball game. And they showed the talent. Can they hang in there with the depth of their bench, though?
And that will be the question. Definitely a smaller roster than we're used to.
Especially for a big public school.
Yeah,
it surprised me.
I think student population's on par with York's. Real interesting. Bruno Massel on the offense back out here the 4th time today. And this will be a jet sweep handed off and to Hayden Alexander, and he will pick up about 2 yards before being brought down.
And Hayden Alexander's made some nice plays for the Dukes offense throughout the season. The first receiving touchdown of the season / passing for Massel, that 70-yarder against Glenbrook South. Definitely a big confidence booster to start the season. He's been pretty key on 3rd down tonight. He's made a few plays, and he's pretty fast, so I'm not surprised to see him in motion there, Connor.
Yeah, he's always going to be your deep threat receiver. This time they hand off to Duda, goes up the middle for a couple of yards again. So we'll bring up 3rd and short. 3rd and 5. So this will really open the playbook for the Dukes. They could go short pass. They could try for short pass down the middle or a screen pass, or they could go for the home run, or they could just run it.
You know, I would not be surprised if they go for the home run ball. They've done it twice tonight on 3rd down. Well, got to take a matchup down at the bottom. Take a look at that matchup between Kadowski
and Christopher Crape. Massel set to throw. He goes right side. It's going to be complete for a 1st down and many more before finally being brought down at the 45-yard line. Here we go again. Hayden Alexander on the reception, like you said, coming up big on 3rd down. That time he converts again. I think they kind of fooled that Huskies defense. They were really trying to isolate Alexander to get that one-on-one matchup. They threw trips left with Kadowski, Burnbomb, and Hughes, but I think they were definitely going all the way to Hayden Alexander. Now Kadowski by himself. They send Hughes in motion. They'll give to Duda. Duda's bouncing out to the right side, and he will be just short of the 1st down. A really strong run there. Should bring up 2nd and inches. No, they're going to give him the 1st down.
You know, Connor, it really feels like the Dukes have dominated possession. Every drive they've had has been decently long, and it feels like when they want to turn on the button to go score, they do. I mean, constantly converting on 2 3rd downs and then a 4th and 16, too.
Massel in the shotgun. He gives to Duda once again up the middle. This time he's going to be stopped pretty quickly for about a 1-yard gain. So Coach Gelso is going to use this time to get his team regrouped. Calls a timeout. 21-7, a minute 24 left to go in the 1st half. Time winding down. Dukes looking to score another touchdown. We'll be right back. You are watching York Sports Network. Welcome you back. 2nd down and 8 for the York Dukes. A minute 24. Coach Gelso used his 1st time out, probably to stop the clock and then go over kind of the game plan here. And Massel's going to keep it himself. Bounces out to the right. He's got room over the middle, and this will be another touchdown. That's exactly what you use the timeout for. One play, 43 yards into the end zone. Bruno Massel, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day, extends the Dukes' lead to 20 now, 27-7. To the 2nd great run from Massel, and that caps off another incredible drive by the Dukes.
Yeah, Connor, that's going to come back. They got a flag holding against the Dukes. Seemed to be a little too much room for Massel to run. He's got that breakaway speed, but that hole was awfully big, and that will bring the play back.
So that negates a 43-yard rushing touchdown.
Yeah, after a earlier 60-yard rushing touchdown. So he'd be over 100 yards, Connor, rushing on the ground. He's well over 100 in the air, too. So could get it all back here, though.
Massel in the shotgun. Now he hands it off to Duda. Duda bounces out to the left. Tries to spin out of a tackle, but he can't. Doesn't matter. He picks up 6 yards.
Yeah, Duda taking majority of the handoffs tonight, Connor, with, as we mentioned, Connors plays both ways, linebacker and running back, and they are slowly but surely working Duda to be the #1 running back. At the beginning of the year, it was a lot more of Connors, but Duda is slowly turning in that RB1, Connor.
I mean, I would argue that after last week, he's just kind of solidified himself. This time Massel will keep him, but he gets tripped up pretty quickly. He only picks up a 3 yards, so this will bring up 3rd and short. Yeah, but after that 3 touchdown performance, I would argue that Duda has kind of captured that role as running back 1 now. 30.
Yeah, Connor, it's been cool to see them work him into the offense from the start of the beginning of the year. And then having that huge game last week, as you mentioned, definitely taking over that spot.
Coach Gelsomino calls a timeout, so 34 seconds left in the first half. It'll be 3rd and 3 coming up for the Dukes. We'll step away for just a few moments. We're watching York Sports Network. We welcome you back. 3rd down and 3 coming up for the Dukes. 34 seconds left in the first half. Bruno Massel in the shotgun. Drops back to pass. He fires over the middle. Right through the hands of Hayden Alexander. So that will bring up 4th and 3.
Great job by Massel looking down the field. He had his man. Pass was there. Just a little bit of a miscue with Alexander and Massel. But the throw was on the money. And Massel certainly playing with the most confidence I've seen throughout his career as a Duke.
4th and 3. We'll see if. So Oak Park calls a timeout. Probably telling them not to jump off sides. Both teams will talk it over. 4th and 3 coming up. 30 seconds left to go in the first half. You are watching York Sports Network. Fourth and 3, we welcome you back. That's the situation the York Dukes find themselves in. Offense staying out there. No Massel in the shotgun. Got some motion. Flag will not be thrown. Massel calling an audible. They will run a play. Massel rolls out to his right. And he is going to use his legs, pick up the first down, run out of bounds. Now just taking off only 5 seconds, so 25 left to go still.
Great job, Connor. Massel missed Kadowski wide open in the end zone. He's been so terrific all night. Probably a little smarter to just take the first down rather than take that shot, but he did have Kadowski wide open. That could have been another humongous catch for him.
Massel in the shotgun on first down. Bad snap, but Massel's able to recover. Rolls out to his left. Scanning downfield. He's going to fire over the middle. It's tipped up and caught by Jack Burnbomb for the touchdown. Dukes now 27-7. Well defended by Christian Crape, the defensive back. I'm sorry, not Christian Crape. That's number 12, Brenton Dortch, who was on Jack Burnbomb. Tipped it up, and Burnbomb stuck with it and was able to catch it off the deflection for his second touchdown of the season.
Not only a great job by Massel extending the play, but then finding Burnbomb, and then Burnbomb sticking with it. So both great job by them, continuing to extend the play and then finishing it off with a, tip ball drill situation. And great heads-up play from Burnbomb. Offense continues to dominate, up 21 now with 16 seconds left in the first half.
Extra point from Brennan Kennedy was good, so that makes it a 28-7 lead for the Dukes. York has scored on every drive so far. Scored a touchdown on every drive. So far, I might add. They've gotten Burnbomb more involved these last couple weeks. This is kind of what we were looking to see at the beginning, kind of last year. He filled in when Chris Danko was out for a couple weeks. Didn't see much from him. Helm kind of took over, but now Burnbomb more involved in the passing game, which is exactly what you want to see. I think it's definitely a more spread out and evenly distributed passing attack, Christian. You know, with Burnbomb now getting more involved, you have Kadosky, you have Quinlan Hughes, and you have Hayden Alexander. So a lot of options for Bruno Massel. And you know, we've talked enough about the options in the running game. Massel and the two big backs, Connors and Duda. So just a lot of options for this offense, and can never get enough of that.
I mean, heck, Projako even got a touchdown last week. So
yes.
If it had to come down to the third spot, I mean, he's running with the passion as well.
That's Trevor Projako. I mean, it's always a nice feeling to score on senior night. I mean, Trevor Projako told me it was just a great feeling to find the end zone late in that game last week. O'Connor to kick it off, and he will boot this into the back of the end zone for a touchback. So 16 seconds for Johnny Nelson and the Huskies offense to go 80 yards. We'll see if they even attempt to try that.
Yeah, Connor Deverman got thrown down to the ground. I don't know if you caught that, down towards the Huskies sideline. Have a little chatter there, and you know, Huskies a little fired up. You know, offense was looking pretty strong last drive. Slow, methodical one, took a lot of time off the clock, and Nelson delivered a perfect strike to Wheeler. So they got something brewing. It's going to be tough to score with 16 seconds left on the clock going into the locker room, but definitely looking to somehow get some points on the board.
Definitely not impossible. Nothing's impossible, just really, really unlikely. And they're just going to run the clock out. They give it to Liam Smith, who's still on his feet. Picks up 3 yards. Now there's 9 seconds left to go. So they'll probably just take it into the locker room for half. You see the sideline starting to clear out. So they'll just walk off the field as time expires in the first half. 28-7, your score. And we will return after this halftime break. Dukes with a 21-point lead. You are watching York Sports Network. We'll be back in about 20 minutes. Hello, and we welcome you back to Oak Park River Forest High School, where the York Dukes and the Oak Park River Forest Huskies are facing off. It's a beautiful night here. The current time is 9:10. The current temperature is 74 degrees with a slight breeze. 28-7 is your score. The Dukes lead. For those of you just joining us, I'm Connor Choi. With me is Christian McQuade. And Christian, kind of a tale of two completely different stories here in this first half. How did the Huskies play, and how did that compare to how the Dukes played?
Yeah, Connor, the Huskies, for the most part, were not very good on the offensive side of the ball, nor the defensive side of the ball. However, they did put together on their last real drive a slow, methodical drive that ended up resulting in a touchdown pass from Johnny Nelson. You know, showcasing all the talent he has. He put it all into one drive. And Connor, he made some fantastic throws, look very comfortable in the pocket. And if you're the Huskies, you're not that mad going into halftime because you got some points on the board. You're down 3 scores, yeah, but that last full drive they had, it was very successful, and they looked very good on the run game and the throwing game. However, let's turn back to the Dukes. They've just been consistently amazing on both offense and defense. Bruno Massel absolutely showcasing both his running and passing game. As we highlighted, Kadowski hyping him up, possibly having another great game, and he's been all over the field. And then Hayden Alexander with some big catches in the run game for Duda and Connors, you know, especially being there. Just very consistent. Great job of the defense. I'd love to get that injury report on Joseph Reif. Hopefully he gets back in there, Connor. We know how vital he is to the defense, but I mean, just an overall great first half for the Dukes and not so great for the Huskies, but Huskies came into the locker room with some momentum.
Yeah, for sure, Christian. And now kickoff, second half kickoff, I should say. Just about to start. Dukes on the toss, and they elected to defer, so they will receive the ball to start the second half. One thing to note, the Dukes were 4 for 4. 4 offensive drives, 4 touchdowns the result. So, I mean, if that's not offensive efficiency, Christian, I don't know what is.
Absolutely, Connor. So dominant.
Eric Courier, the kicker for the Huskies, set to kick it off. And the second half is underway. It's a line drive kick right before the end zone. This one will be fielded at the goal line. The whistle is blown before, so they're going to blow it dead. Duda started taking it out of the end zone, or just before it looked like, but this will be called a touchback. So now Bruno Massel on the offense coming out once again, and now you wonder if they, you know, if this offense continues to be playing the same as they have been these first drives, how long before you just let the starters rest?
That's a great way to put it, Connor. I'd say that they'd have to go down the field here. I think they're going to try to take a lot of time off the clock, run the ball quite a bit, and then they will go to the throw if they have to. But I think once you get up 28 points or so, maybe even 35, then you'll see maybe Adam Yu and some of the backups come in.
First down, it's a handoff to Henry Duda, who stopped at the line of scrimmage. Be lucky if they give him a yard. That'll bring up 2nd and 9.
But you know, Connor, the Huskies really didn't play their best football, and as much as it seems, 21 points seems like a lot, but really, 1 touchdown gets it down to 2 possessions. So stopping a score, I mean, we also talked about how Nelson had so much momentum going into the half.
They pieced together a full drive, like you said. Duda stopped behind the line of scrimmage, so 2 rushes of no short gain to a negative gain. This will bring up 3rd down and 11. Dukes backed up their own 19-yard line.
Some excitement from the PA guy, Connor. Hopefully they could hear that.
11 yards to go. Massel in the shotgun. They send Quinlan Hughes in motion. They fake the handoff to him. Massel back to pass. Pocket collapses with time, and it's complete. Simon Kadowski with the reception. And that will move the chains.
Too easy, Connor.
Too easy.
But Massel just extends the play once again. He's deadly with that running game, so they went to go try to sack him, and he just was able to find a wide-open Kadowski. He seems to be their go-to man but on 3rd downs. Him and Hayden have just been amazing tonight on 3rd downs and just plays where you need to step up. They've been very reliable.
19-yard reception there for Kadowski. Now Massel will hand it off to Duda, who cuts up the middle. Duda has a seam, and he bounces to the right side. stiff arms a man and then is pushed out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Nice rush there for Henry Duda.
Absolutely, Connor. And the offensive line has been so terrific all night. Costa Campus, I'd like to highlight him there, opening the right side of the offensive line completely. And, you know, Costa's a great athlete, varsity basketball player, too. Big guy. He's a great offensive lineman, too. And he's someone that you definitely would like to have on the offensive line playing basketball. To be at his size and be coordinated like that, it's special.
You give to Duda once again. This time he'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Good play by the Huskies defense. That time it's number 4, Victor Vanek, the linebacker, making the tackle. Duda goes to the sideline for a breather. Now they bring in Jimmy Connors.
York's already taken 2 minutes off the clock here. Slowly but methodically moving down the field, Connor.
We're at midfield, the 49-yard line of Oak Park River Forest. Massel's going to keep it, bounces out to the left side. It's a nice rush there for a nice solid gain. So this will bring up 3rd and short. See where they officially spot it. They spot at the 43, so 3rd and 4 for the Dukes. Massel nearly got one of the linemen to jump of Oak Park River Forest. Massel gives it to Connors. He bounces out to the left. He picks up the first down and more, and he's still on his feet, and he'll finally be brought down just short of the 30-yard line. It's going to be a 13-yard rush for Jimmy Connors.
Great job by Connors getting the left side of the field and then, you know, keeps his feet going. As I mentioned earlier, that's one of his specialties, and he is just such a big guy to bring down, Connor. I mean, think about that. You have a linebacker running the football in the NFL. Think about that in a comparison, because high school football, the difference in size between Connors to a linebacker in corners are just astronomical.
Oh, high snap, and Massel just has to fall on it, so that'll be a big loss for the Dukes. We'll see where they spot it. It looks like it's going to be spotted at the 38-yard line. A loss of 7 yards. Snap just a little high that time. Jack Bodak, the center. 2nd and 17 for the Dukes. 8:07 and counting. Massel, quick pass, completes to Kodowski on the screen. And he gets tripped up after picking up 3 yards. So we'll bring up 3rd and long for the Dukes. Third and 14 after the 3-yard reception. Kodowski alone. Bottom of your screen. One-on-one matchup. They sent Hughes in motion. Massel's just going to keep it. He's going to run it himself. Spins out of trouble, and he's still on his feet. And this one could be close. I think they picked up the first down.
They're going to give it to him, Connor.
Yes, they did. The chains are moving. First down, Dukes. It's a 15-yard rush for Bruno Massel. The Dukes convert on 3rd down.
Dukes have been excellent on 3rd down in long situations all night, Connor. And prove it again, Massel just uses his legs. Connor, he has been so good on the ground and as a Duke, and he shows it there once again. I mentioned last week he's a track star. He's a fast guy and showing it on the field tonight.
They've converted on all but 2 third downs this entire game. Duda back in at running back. Massel in the shotgun now, hands it off to Duda. Bounces to the left, and he's still fighting for yards. He'll be brought out of bounds at around the 10-yard line.
So now the Dukes have taken half the amount of time of 12 minutes, so 6 minutes off already, the clock on this one drive, and that's exactly the game plan, Connor. Great execution as of right now if they're able to go down the whole field and put some points on the board like this in this fashion, Connor.
28-7, ball spotted at the 10-yard line. Massel in the shotgun, Connors the back. Connors gonna take it, and that's a short rush for Jimmy Connors. On 1st and goal. Burnbomb out, in comes Hunter Stepanek, provides extra protection in the run game. Massel drops back, flushed out the pocket, rolls to his left. Now he's going to run it himself. He gets hit hard right before the pylon. So this will bring up 3rd and goal. They'll be just a couple yards away from the end zone.
Although they didn't score points there, Connor, Massel just extends the play once again, uses his legs. And even though they didn't get in the end zone, just the fact that he wasn't taken down in a sack after the amount of pressure that the Huskies put on him there, very impressive.
Third and goal, 3 yards out from the end zone. Massel in the shotgun, Connors the running back. They'll give to Connors, and he finds the lane, and he's in the end zone for another touchdown for the Dukes. Connors once again finding the end zone. Makes it 34-7. Nearly an 8-minute drive for the Dukes. 4:43 left on the clock, and now they'll come out to kick the extra point.
Yeah, that's exactly what you wanted, Connor, as a Duke fan. And just great execution from the offensive coordinator, Coach Murphy. You know, slowly but methodically, as I mentioned, moving down the field and putting points on the board, taking a ton of time off the clock, as the extra point is good. But, you know, up 4 scores now, and you've got to be wondering if the Huskies have a response.
And now up 28 points for the Dukes, and this is looking to be another big win for the Dukes. They've marched to 4-0. You know, Christian, 4-0, but they've got the toughest part of their schedule coming up. Next weekend, homecoming weekend against Hinsdale Central. Dukes are favored to win that game, but that's obviously still going to be a tough matchup. Hinsdale Central rolling with 3rd-year starter Riley Contreras at quarterback. The junior quarterback now has had 3 years in this Hinsdale Central offense, so they're going to look to get some revenge on York after losing the last few matchups. And the week after that, like we mentioned earlier, you're playing a top 10 team in the state, Downers Grove North. Great all-around team highlighted by their 3-star quarterback, Owen Lansu. And you go to Glenbard West. Never an easy place to play, especially on a Saturday afternoon. O'Connor will boot this into the back of the end zone. Then after that, LT comes to town. So that stretch right there in the heart of your conference schedule is just a really tough stretch of games to play. And you know, it's a lot to ask for them to try and win every one. Obviously, that's the goal, but it's just such a it's going to be physically demanding every week, and you're just going back-to-back playing some of the hardest opponents in your conference and in the state as well.
Yeah, kind of, you know what they say, to be the best, you got to beat the best, and York's definitely going to have to prove that this year with their strength of the schedule. It's going to be very tough, but if they are able to take care of business, kind of, they're going to be looking at a pretty high seed in the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. If they can take care of business, and if they are somehow able to lead this team to another undefeated season, I mean, I think it would be more impressive than years last, because they were kind of overlooked at the start of the season. Now Johnny Nelson and the offense rolls back out. They start at the 20-yard line. Nelson empty set, quarterback draw up the middle. Good pickup.
And Connor, it's good to see Joe Reef out there on his feet, so the injury obviously must not be too concerning And the Notre Dame commit is back out there. You love to see it if you're a Duke fan.
Yes, likely just a cramp. We had mentioned earlier a lot of cramping up, especially in these warmer games. 10-yard quarterback draw the last play, so a fresh set of downs for the Huskies. Nelson, empty set again, drops back to pass. He's going to air this one out. It's going to be complete, another first down. So another strong pass from Johnny Nelson over the right side by the sideline. Good job reeling it in. I'm going to say he was out of bounds, so incomplete. That was intended for Daniel Taylor, the junior wide receiver. Nelson, and this one's nearly picked off.
Great tackle.
Yeah, I mean, just not at all where he wanted that to go. So now that's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
That was Trevor Perjacko on the tackle.
Yeah, nice job, Trevor Perchilo getting in the game now. So we're mixing some things up. Rick's Cole getting involved over there too. They bring Liam Smith in the backfield. So first play this drive being run with a back. Now he kicks out. So now it's empty set for Nelson. Scanning. Now he has a man nearly intercepted. It's broken up. The intended receiver, Michael Wheeler, has been the #1 target all night. So that'll bring up 4th down for the Huskies, and they'll have to punt it away.
Last time PRF was in this situation with the punter, they were able to roll it all the way down to the 15-yard lines. The kicker's got a boot on him, Connor. Wouldn't be surprised if we see another one like that. The punter, not the kicker.
Kicker, punter, he does it all. Eric Guerriere set to send it away. He's got Kadowski hanging around the 25. This one's one of his weaker punts today. Does not have the roll and will end up at the 24-yard line.
Great job by Greer flipping the field there. Got a nice, the roll wasn't too good, but you know, getting the ball down from the 20-yard line to almost the other 20-yard line, that's pretty good exchange if you ask me in high school football, Connor.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a strong punt. Now the offense will have some work to do. Still the first team offense out there. I will say if they score here and go 6 for 6 in terms of touchdowns, 6 touchdowns out of 6 drives, I think that's when you might want to start taking them out, because then it will be a running clock. Their lead will be big enough. Massel on first down, hands it off to Duda, who's bouncing to the left side, breaks away, has a first down. It gets a couple extra yards before being thrown out at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a whole lot of running here again, Connor. Keep the clock running. It's been effective too. Win-win.
They go back to Duda up the middle. Pick up of 3 yards. Injured Husky, it's Jake Karnick, so we'll step away while the trainers take a look at him. 3:21 on the clock, 35-7, York Dukes lead. You are watching York Sports Network. We welcome you back. 3 minutes, 12 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. 35-7 your score. On second down, Bruno Massel hands it off to Henry Duda. Short gain. Third down and 5 coming up for the Dukes. Massel in the shotgun. It's a hard count. He drops back, quarterback draw. Massel's met right at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be thrown down for a big loss. We got a loss of 5, and now the Dukes, for the first time tonight, will have to punt it away.
Loss of 5 and loss of the streak, Connor, but so impressive, so consistent all night has been the offense up to this point, but truly impressive show performance from Massel and company. And Kennedy, we finally get to see you out here tonight.
So he will punt it away. Thought it would be a pretty quiet night, just some extra points. Finally asked to boot one for the Dukes. Oh, bad snap. Kennedy able to get it off. Still a strong punt. This one's going to bounce and take a great roll. And Kennedy pins them inside the 20 at the 15-yard line. Recovers from the bad snap. Still able to get a strong punt off. So a great job by number 8. Johnny Nelson in the offense will take over. With 1:25 left to go in the third quarter, you are watching York Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment. We welcome you back. First down for the Park River Forest Huskies. It will be a rushing play to Liam Smith for about 3 yards. Clock winding down, 1 minute and 5 seconds. And counting, so now we're below a minute. 2nd and 5. Olsen sent a man in motion. Fakes the handoff. I'm sorry, he does hand it off to Smith, who picks up a first down and more. Nice 10-yard rush for Liam Smith. That'll move the chains on second down. It's now 30 seconds and counting.
Hey, Connor, you said fake. Yeah, he faked me out, too. And he's faked me out many times tonight. Johnny Nelson does a really nice job of selling the handoff or the option or whatever they're running, whether he's going to keep it or hand it off. He's very, very good with his legs, just as much as his arm.
Like we mentioned, such a great athlete. Now on first down, he fakes the throw. He throws up a 50-50, and this one will be caught. No, just out of the fingertips. Right there was Michael Wheeler.
Yeah, that's been his guy all night, too. Wheeler and him have connected on some big plays. He's got the only touchdown for the Huskies, too. Just
pretty good lob pass, too. I mean, Wheeler just, I'm not really sure why. He kind of adjusted his body last minute, probably to try and keep a foot in bounds. Unfortunately, that threw him off, and he wasn't able to hold on. But I think they had it right there. I don't think he needed that last-minute adjustment.
Still pretty good coverage from Richardson, too. He's been pretty good all night, just like his brother, as we mentioned. But, you know, starting as a junior in this secondary is very impressive.
Nelson in the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Tight end from left to right. And that's a strong rush for Liam Smith, who picks up 8 yards. Time expires on the third quarter, so we'll head to the fourth quarter. Oak Park River Forest cooking up a nice drive here late. Still down 28. Duke's lead 35-7. We welcome you back. Fresh set of downs for the Oak Park River Forest Huskies, as well as a fresh quarter there and their own 45-yard line, down 28 to the York Dukes. Pistol gun formation for the Huskies. Johnny Nelson drops back to pass. Now jump throws this, and it's going to be complete and caught. Michael Wheeler makes up for the drop pass a couple plays earlier. Huge gain, I might add.
Yeah, Connor, Nelson here does a great job extending the play once again. I've said it so many times tonight, but with that arm he has, if he extends the play, that opens up a whole new level of good. And then the jump pass on top of that while getting hit delivers a strike to Wheeler, who's been his guy all night, and they only find themselves down 4 touchdowns. So still sort of a Connor, but you know, not horrible, not horrible.
20-yard pickup that last play for Nelson and the Huskies offense. Now he drops back to pass. Now just sidearm dumps this one off to Liam Smith, who's still on his feet. Broke a couple tackles before being brought down finally.
He loves that sidearm pass too, Connor. We've seen that quite a bit on the dump offs, the slip screens, the screen passes. He's got a whole bag. They can get him some protection, Connor. It'd be very scary to see how good they could be next year.
Yeah, and Smith's such an athlete, you know. He broke a couple tackles before finally being brought down by Jack Ostendorf. Donovan Lee checks out, checking in Jake Karnick in for extra protection. Man in motion, 1st and 10. It's going to be a short rush right at the line of scrimmage. Might have even lost a yard or two. Just not the best run for Liam Smith.
Yeah, I mean, if you hear that noise from the band, we are actually sitting about, how many feet is this? Around 15 feet away from the band. So we've had them in our ear all night, Connor. And, you know, it can be hard to announce at times with the band right next to you.
Yeah, they do get loud, especially in the height of the game. It's definitely quieted down now. Most of the people have cleared out from both sides. Nelson, quick throw, and that's another completion. Once again, Michael Wheeler, Nelson to Wheeler. How many times could you say it?
And now he's got a one-on-one matchup with Richardson in the left side of the field. Completely isolated over there. On an island, as some would say. Ooh, Smith just chucked his mouth guard onto it.
Is that a mouth guard, or is that like a sleeve?
I can't tell.
And in motion, they give it to Smith, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage.
I'd hope that's not his mouth guard.
I never understood why, and I see this at all levels, why would you ever... Why don't they attach the mouth guard to the helmet piece? Why do they just let it loose and then they just throw it on the turf? I never understood that.
Yeah, and you know, some guys, Connor, actually have 2 mouth guards attached to the... It's interesting, like, I don't know if it's for swag. My little brother plays football, and he actually has 2 mouth guards on his helmet. It's kind of odd.
Ask him why when you go home. I've always wondered why.
One for swag, one for... I don't know.
Backup? But then just tie it to the helmet.
Mix up the flavor?
Nelson drops back. Nice pass over the middle, complete. That's a first down, and now they're inside the 5-yard line, threatening to score for the 2nd time today.
Great toss, and course, Connor, we have to say it again. Him to Wheeler once again.
They go, hurry up. And there's another, just another short run. The option is not working when Nelson gives it to Smith up the middle.
I mean, but he certainly fakes like he's running the ball every time.
He does. He's just not fooling anyone. I mean, Smith just goes up the middle, and he's just met right away.
I just don't know if he's afraid to take the hit and possibly just get the yards, or it's not much of an option if you're going up the middle every time, is it?
No, I really think they need, especially last couple times, almost looks like Nelson's kind of directing Smith to go right, and he just goes back up the middle, and I don't know if that's by design or not. Smith still at the back. It's a one-on-one matchup for Viewering. Top of your screen. Nelson drops back, looks for Viewering. 50-50 ball. He gets up with it. Did he come down with it? Yes, he did. It's a touchdown for the Huskies. Vierling's second touchdown of the day, or Wheeler's second touchdown of the day. Makes it 35-13 your score.
What a combination they've been all night, and Huskies have now scored on the 2 out of their last 3 real drives because they got the ball with 16 seconds left, so that doesn't count. York's just kind of been controlling the clock, Connor.
Yes, they have. I mean, that was a really long drive. Now just under 8 minutes left. Gruyere up to try the extra point. Good snap, good hold. An okay kick, still good.
Quite the touchdown celebration Oak Park's got with the band over here. When they score, they have the whole fight song. They sing it too. Singing something about Oak Park Huskies. I'm not sure, I couldn't really pick it up, but awful loud. You know, we got Shepard Plamann, our instant replay guy. He's dancing to it, so it's catchy. It's catchy, I will say. 7 minutes, 57 seconds.
Yeah,
not much to cover. A lot of runs. A lot of time being taken off the clock.
Yes, just wonder if you're still going to see the first team offense or not. You kind of saw him mixing it up these last 2 drives that OPRF had. So it's like more second team defense, I should say, than before. So I wonder now if it'll be any different. Eric Guerriere set to kick it off once more. Duke's probably looking to make this drive last as long as possible, kill as much clock as they possibly can, and just get on with this and move to 4-0. Squib kick, well, more of an attempted onside kick.
What the heck?
But falling on it right away, number 38, Jack Hansman.
Great job. Special teams.
Just kicked a little bit too hard.
I mean, honestly, not the worst play call in the world. You had nothing to lose. If you get the ball back and somehow score, you're down 2 possessions.
I think, yeah, and I think they might just be doing it, not because yes, you're trying to get it, but maybe the thought also, if you're the coach, in the back of your mind, you give a more favorable field position. They either score faster, and then you can get the ball back and run some more offensive plays.
That's a good way to look at it.
Coach John Horster probably has that in the back of his mind as well. Duke's, on the other hand, just trying to run out the clock. As you see, Massel gives it to Duda, who gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, first team offense still out there, Connor, and I still think it's okay to leave them out there, up 21. It'd be a different story if they were up 28 or 35 with this much time left, but
To be fair, the game clock's still running. You're just running the ball. But it'd be nice to see some other looks. Massel gives it to Duda. Duda up the middle. It's a strong pickup. 7-yard rush. I'm just saying maybe I'm being a bit too conservative here, but I'm just saying think about the workload they're going to have to put on for these upcoming games that we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
if it goes how we think it's going to go, you're basically going to ask them to be playing the entire time.
Yeah. Right, well, Hinsdale Central will be close at the beginning. I think York pulls away and beats them by 3 scores.
But that 3-game stretch of Downers North,
1000%.
Glenbard West, and Lyons Township is just going to be so tough.
I agree. I do think Glenbard West is a little bit overrated, but with the rivalry, you know, last year we thought they were overrated. They came into our place and beat us.
Yes.
So it's always the rivalry. It doesn't matter. It's kind of like Ohio State, Michigan. No matter how good the teams can be, you never know in the rivalries. There can totally be upsets. I mean, you see that in college football with Oregon, Oregon State every now and then. I mean, you never know with rivals. Just that's how it is.
Yeah, and I think Glenbard West is definitely, while they might be to some overrated, I think they're definitely better than their record shows. You know, they had 2 tough losses. They played Batavia and then Loyola Academy. So they started the year off 0-2. Massel hands it off up the middle. This one breaking away is Jimmy Connors, and he's got a chance to go all the way to the end zone, and he will. Another touchdown, and that just tacks on to this huge score for the Dukes, making it 41-14. How about Jimmy Connors? Have yourself a day. Multi-touchdown game.
Jimmy Connors just explodes up the middle of the offensive line, does a great job creating space once again, and Jimmy Connors has been running the ball for quite a bit of time under the York offense, and he just knows once he sees that hole, he takes off, easy touchdown, and Dukes are just dominating this game, Connor. Now, 6 for 7 on drives to touchdowns.
Kennedy's extra point is
I think that hit the house, Connor.
Yeah, they got
so
someone.
serious.
They got someone running off. I wonder what it's like living directly across from the football field on game day.
Yeah,
it's got to be pretty loud. It's got to be bright
right in front of them too.
And the net is just not as big as I'm surprised the town does not place a bigger net in. That's all I'm saying.
Couldn't agree more. And then on the other side, where the sidewalk is, there's no net. They got some trees.
Yes, just on school property, they didn't put a net up. But I guess when it's your property, you can do whatever you want.
That's right.
So a quick drive for the Dukes, just under 6 minutes left to go in this game. Really just carried by the long drive.
The band played the same song there for about 2 minutes in a row.
Jack O'Connor to kick it off. Huskies ready to receive. They have 2 men back. O'Connor will boot this up, and this is going to go out of bounds. So the Huskies will start at the 40-yard line.
Laundry on the field.
Just not the best kick, just a little bit left. He's been aiming for that on your screen, the bottom of your screen, that left side of the end zone all night long. That time he just hooked it a little bit to left. Goes out of bounds before it crosses the end zone. I'm sorry, they'll start at the 35-yard line, not the 40-yard line. Favorable field position for Johnny Nelson and this Huskies offense. They look to hopefully score one more time before the game inevitably ends. If things keep going the way they're looking, you know, Park River Forest will fall to 1-3, and they'll have to have a serious conversation about the identity of this team, find their identity fast, especially on defense. Nelson complete. Left sideline. Once again, Michael Wheeler on the reception.
Wheeler, Connor, once again, he's just, him and Nelson and Smith have been the 3 very, very bright spots of this very quiet OPRF team tonight. I mean, granted, they are playing a very talented Dukes team. Dukes defense has been dominant the past, 3 years?
Yes, and I just think, once again, the Oak Park River Forest defense is having, it's the same problem last year. I mean, they scored 28 points last year, but they gave up over 50, so it's really tough. Nelson, strong pass, complete. Tackles made by Drew Richardson, but not after it's complete to Matthew Halper. That'll be another first down. Now they're in Duke's territory, the 48-yard line. Nelson handing this one off to Smith. Smith has a seam up the middle, and they'll pick up a first down. to the 34-yard line. 14-yard rush for Liam Smith. They go back to Smith again, up the middle this time. Not 14 yards, but around 5 or 6 yards.
Some subs coming in here, Connor.
Indeed they do. They have got Charlie Tully coming out on the defensive line, as well as Christian Diaz. So mixing it up, this is the second and third string defense is kind of mixing up here. And breaking a couple tackles is Liam Smith. Now he'll be brought down. It's Owen Chale with the tackle. A lot of personnel switches. Nelson in the shotgun. And this time he's going to keep it himself. He bounces out to the right, and now he'll pick up some good yardage there.
Yeah, Connor, they're going to let Nelson use his legs here for the first time in a minute. Maybe the read option is actually a read option. Not a fake run or fake keeper.
Surprised they're letting him run it now.
Yeah, it's a
little late for that in my opinion, but I think, you know, they're close. 8 yard at the 8-yard line, 1st and goal. Strong run up the middle that he just short of the end zone.
Take a look at Wheeler all the way down the left side of the field. If they throw it, it can tell you it will go.
They give it
to
to Smith. He cuts back up the middle, and he's going to be right there. He's in for the touchdown. It looked like he was short. They're going to say he got in. So Liam Smith finds the end zone. Nice 2-yard rushing touchdown for the Huskies late in this game. So a lot of fourth quarter scoring here. Now 42-20 with a chance to make it 42-21. Snap, good hold, extra points up and good. So it will indeed be 42-21 now. 2 minutes and 47 seconds left to go in this game. We'll step away for just 1 minute. The Dukes will receive the ball and hope to run the clock out. You are watching York Sports Network. We welcome you back. 2 minutes, 47 seconds. 21-point lead for the Dukes, 42-21. Kickoff goes into the end zone, will not be returned by Eddie Sika. So the Dukes offense comes out and run the ball out for the last 2 minutes and change. So they are going to improve to 4-0. Starting off conference play with a win, always great. And you know, Christian, what have you noticed just throughout this entire game? It's been just offensive dominance so far from the Dukes. I mean, 42 points. What have you noticed that they've done extremely well throughout the entire game to get them this score?
I mean, yeah, Connor, they've actually scored 6 out of their 7 drives tonight with the ball. Bruno Massel's done an outstanding job both on the ground and in the air, making smart decisions, extending plays. I mean, he's done it all. He hasn't thrown a pick yet. I mean, talk about the amount of guys that have gotten involved in that. You know, you got both of the running backs and Connors in duty. You got Burnbomb, you got Kadowski, you got Alexander. I mean, everyone's touching the ball tonight, which is awesome to see. And Quinlan Hughes, you know, made some plays. Just a great overall team win, and the defense was also outstanding. So I'm not complaining. Great win. Hopefully going to be able to take this one in victory formation eventually.
Adam Ewan at quarterback. He's going to keep it himself. Bounces out, but he's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss. Clock's still winding down. 3rd and 9. Game clock down to 1:35. You in the shotgun, and they'll take a delay of game. Or a false start.
Yeah, expected miscue in my opinion, not giving up a ton of snaps tonight and just not in the best rhythm. You know, a little miscommunication. I'd love to see Adam Yu air the ball out here, Connor. He's been working hard for the moments like this. You know, he's been backing up Bruno since his freshman year, so you definitely love to see him make some plays, Connor.
3rd and 14, so I'll take the penalty, but the clock will start back up again. So less than a minute.
Use very similar play style to Bruno. They run a lot of options with him. He can use his legs just as well as his arm.
And there you see him there. He takes off. Well short of the first down, but he's going to pick up some yardage there. See what the Dukes decide to do, if they decide to punt or just they're able to snap the ball off and just kind of run around with it and take a knee to end the game. Coach Gelso out on the field has a question about the clock. 15 seconds and counting down. This is all about a Dukes victory, and like Christian, like you mentioned, just an overall great team win from both sides of the ball. And they're just going to line it up. That'll do it. The Dukes move to 4-0. They come into Oak Park and take care of business. 42-21, your final score. Hinsdale Central homecoming game next week. We'll be live at York Sports Network from Clarence D. Eastfield. For our entire crew, I've been Connor Choi. With me is Christian McQuade. Thank you all so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your night.